Hey guys, my name is Alexis and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time since I've been on here and I apologize for it. I kind of tell you what's going on in my life, but I do film this really pretty look that I did today, and it's what I did for my 27th birthday for last month in August. So I hope you guys enjoy watching this, and yeah, we'll get to it. Okay guys, so it's been a minute since I've done a makeup tutorial, and I think April was the last time I uploaded. I've had a lot going on since then and I haven't had the chance to do it, but I finally do. I do have a few things that I do differently in my everyday routine, so just kind of hang out with me and let's get ready. So one of the first things I do now is I put on sunscreen. I used to never do this. I use Neutrogena 100+ SPF. I've just been reading so many things about skincare recently, and they're saying that sunscreen is the best thing you can do to like prevent aging, spots. I mean, they're just saying it's the best thing ever, so I've started putting that on every day. And at first when I was using this, I thought this is probably gonna affect like my oiliness, but I haven't really noticed. And I also don't like tend to rub it a whole lot right there, but I haven't noticed much of a difference, so it hasn't affected it the way I thought it would. And I'm unfortunately out of my Smashbox mattifying primer that I usually put on, that stick, and Ulta was out of it the last time I tried to get it too, so I've been using something that I got in one of my BoxyCharm boxes. It's called the Jecca Black Hydrate Primer. So I used it last night for the first time. I didn't have my makeup on for a long time, so I don't really know how it did, but I'm gonna put it on for today's videos just so I can see how long it will last. But I just put it in those areas that I feel like I get the most oily, or I want like kind of the most smooth. And then the new foundation that I use is the Smashbox. I finally caved and spent the $40 on it. So I have Smashbox, it's Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation, and I have the shade 1.1, which is Fair Light and Undertone Neutral. I will say that this does match my skin better than that little sample that I had got, but I think it's still a little bit yellow, but I kind of make it work with the concealer. So I think next time, like once I use all this, I'll get the one with the pink undertones and see how that does. But the only thing that I don't really like about this is that I like a pump better for foundation, and this is like a squeeze. So that's probably the only thing that I don't like about it. And then I take my wet beauty sponge and just blend it out. So like I said, it's been probably since about April that I last uploaded a video. I've just had a lot going on in my life, and I've had a lot of new responsibilities and like adjustments to make, and so I just haven't had time, and I've been really missing filming these because these just kind of give me, I don't know, they just make me feel good, and I feel like I've had a lot of compliments on people about my videos, and so I've just missed getting used to them. But this past month though, you know, I've talked about my miscarriage before that I had last year, and that baby went to heaven at 5 weeks pregnant. But last month I experienced another one, and this time I was actually 14 weeks pregnant, and we knew it was a little girl, and it's been very traumatizing experience, and it's not something that I'm totally up for discussing yet, but I just want to say, like, I lose myself when I go through experiences like that, and I don't wear makeup at all, and I probably haven't worn makeup for about a month now, and each time, like with my first miscarriage and with this pregnancy loss, each time, like, makeup has like brought me back to life a little bit. Like, I just feel good. Like, when I get back into it, I always am watching YouTube videos, but like I will get like serious back into watching them, and I'll just feel good, and then I'll start doing my makeup again, and I just feel like I'm back a little bit, you know? So it's another reason why I'm so motivated to film this today and give you guys a little life update, because that's just kind of what I've been going through, and this has really helped me to get through it. Okay, so now that foundation is on, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade 12B Fair Beige. I am kind of scraping the bottle on this one a little bit, but so you'll see me dip it a little bit more than normal. But first, I kind of just prime my eyelids. A lot of people say that concealer doesn't work for them. Their eyelids are too oily, but for me, it does work. I don't see that it affects my eyeshadow, so it's just kind of whatever your skin does. If you need an actual like eyeshadow primer, or you can get away with just using your concealer or your foundation, but I like to use my concealer because it just kind of helps brighten my eyes up a little bit. And then I really like a bright eyeline or under eye, so I kind of go a little heavy underneath them. Most people don't. If you don't like that, then you can just do kind of like a dot here and out here, and that will give you what you like. And then I go in with a smaller wet beauty sponge, and I will blend that out in those areas. So last night, my husband and I went on a date, and it's been like our first like legitimate date in a long time. We went to Outback and treated ourselves to some good steaks, and then we went and saw that new Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, and it was so good. I would definitely recommend it if you're a Marvel fan like we are. It was so good. Also, another movie I would recommend is the new Cinderella movie with Camila Cabello in it, or Camila Cabello. That was really cute, dude. It's definitely a musical, but it's not like they sing every word. I mean, they definitely bust out into songs, and it's like modern songs. It's so cute. I think one of the things that I love so much about that Smashbox foundation is how my concealer looks once it all comes together. Like, I just feel like it's so like smooth and bright, and just I love the way it looks. So next thing I go into is my Revolution translucent powder for what's it called, baking powder. And I'm just going to put this all over where I did my concealer, and this is just going to help set it to not crease and also help brighten it a little extra. I also kind of put it in the corners of my nose because that's where I get a little bit oily extra. I always get that all over my shirt, but it just wipes right off. So this is, I know for sure, a new step that I do. I still comb out my brows. I feel like that just always helps. It's just kind of like, you know, you brush your hair every morning, so you need to brush your eyebrows too. And so I'll brush them out, and then I use a new to me, I use the e.l.f. Eyebrow Pencil. I think I should have the shade Cool Brown, but it's just a little stick like that, and I'll just kind of start here underneath my brow and kind of help define that area. And then I always kind of go down to my tail. And then kind of start filling in. And I always start on the outer edge of my brow because that's where I want it to be like the most full. I wouldn't say like I'm trying to achieve an ombre brow, but I know like that's definitely where I want it to be the darkest. I feel like I'm struggling to see it in the camera, so I'm going to use a little mirror. Okay, and so that's what one brow will look like. Look at that difference. It's crazy. So now I'm just gonna do the other eyebrow and I'll be right back. Okay, so okay, so now that my eyebrows are filled in, a new thing that I do with them is I use a brow gel because I notice some of my hairs can be a little cray-cray sometimes. So I've had my eye on that Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze wax for a while, but it's like $20 for this, and I just was like, I just don't know if I want to spend that for some brow gel. Like, what if I love it? Then I'm gonna have to keep on getting it, you know, blah blah blah. But anyways, I finally caved, just treated myself to it, and this, I'm not gonna lie, took me probably about a week to figure out how to use it and like it. So I think because I was a little scared of it at first. So I just take a dry spoolie, and this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. It's just a clear wax, and I'll just kind of dip it in there a little bit like this. And I don't know if you can see, but that's about the amount of wax that I put on it. And so at first that scared me because I felt like that was a whole bunch, and especially like when you're putting it on, it looks like you're really gunking up your eyebrows, but it dries clear later on. I don't know how long it takes. I haven't paid attention to that, but it does dry later on and you can't tell. So I think that's why I was a little bit scared, but I'll just kind of start putting that on. But as you can see, like right where I did that first thing, like it looks super like clumpy right there. And like you can see like the buildup of it. But it definitely works very well. And so you can either leave it fluffy like that, which I'm not quite on that trend yet, and then I kind of just like lightly go over the edge of that at the top and kind of lay that down. And I will say that I do like a fluffy eyebrow trend. I just don't know how I feel about it on me yet, so that's why I said that. But I wanted to say too about the e.l.f. pencil. The reason why I changed, I just kind of felt like I've been using the same thing for my eyebrows for years now, and so I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit. And I really like the pencil, or like the small precise pencil of it, because I feel like I can get more of like the exact shape that I want and like really get it precisely how I would like to have my eyebrow. So that's why I really enjoy the pencil better than that CoverGirl pencil I used to use, because it was just thicker and I couldn't get quite like exactly like like the outline that I would like to get. I still don't really achieve like the hair-like strokes. I just like to fill it and get it over with. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time to do that every single day in my makeup routine. I mean, I do a lot already, so I need to like hurry up and quick and do something else. So For my eyeshadow, I'm gonna kind of dip into a couple different things. The first one is gonna be my Tarte Little Toasted palette. I'm just gonna take like a kind of, this is what I usually underneath my brow, but I'm just gonna take it, and I take this Bundled Up kind of like white cream, and I just put it all over my lid, and I just feel like this kind of gives like a brightening look. Obviously I like this color a lot. I use it underneath my eyebrows a lot too, to give that highlight. And then I'm gonna put that palette down for just a moment, and I'm gonna come back to it. But then, okay, and then I go into the Stone Cold Fox ColourPop palette, which looks like this. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this Enigma and Ghost Town and kind of mix those two, like that. And then I put this into my crease. And this is just gonna kind of help define my crease a little bit, and I kind of want to bring it up a little bit. Started a little low there. And I just really go over it a whole bunch just to really blend out those edges. And I don't go too heavy on it because I just like that light kind of defined crease a little bit. So now I'm gonna put this palette down again and go back, but I'm coming back to it. But I'm gonna go back to the Tartelette Little Roasted, and I actually take my nose contouring brush, which kind of looks like this. And I usually use this for nose contouring, but I kind of like, I'm gonna do a like smoked out wing liner, and I start with this one just to kind of help give that like smoky or blurred out look, and then I go in with a little bit more of a precise pencil later on. So, but I will start off with Cozy, this color, and this is the only color I'm going to use out of this palette, but I just like the deep kind of red brown that gives, and I just kind of start on where like the end of my eyelashes, and I start there, and I just kind of drag it inwards. And then I'll kind of take it and I'll really like push and drag for that wing. Yeah. I'm gonna do the same for the other side. This eye always turns out way better than the other eye. I don't know why, I don't know what I do. Okay, so there you can see I kind of have like that base started. So now I'm definitely putting this eyeshadow palette up. And I'll go ahead and take my little color changer sponge thing, and I'll get that color off of that brush because I'm gonna use it later to help contour my nose a little bit. So then I come back to the Stone Cold Fox palette, and like I said, I'm gonna use more of my precise pencil or pencil brush, and this is kind of, I need to see it's way thinner, and I'm gonna use that. And then I go into a little bit of the Drama Mama, which is like the super deep dark cool tone brown, and then I go into Rock Bottom, which is that black cool tone. But I'll just kind of Just gonna dip it like this. And then I will just kind of drag it. I always drag it inwards, and with this color I still kind of like try to blend it a little bit and not make it as sharp, because I like to use the black to make it super sharp. But you can already see the difference of like how that helped my wing a little bit. And I only go into about the inside of my, or like the middle of my eye. I'm just kind of taking my finger and blending in that line right there a little bit, because I feel like it kind of got blown out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with that black and do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna not really try to blend it out. I'm gonna have it a little bit more precise. But I always start here and do again like that kind of push and pull thing, and then I just kind of put it there at the bottom. Yeah. One thing I like about this is like it doesn't have to be a perfect wing liner, and I kind of prefer this look more to like a actual liquid liner or something. Because I've noticed I don't stress near as hard on getting them to match, because they're supposed to be a little bit not perfect. Yeah, I really like this. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with Luxe up here, which is kind of like a yellow nude. It kind of matches that first shade we put on the eyelid, and I'm just gonna kind of put that underneath the eyebrow just to kind of highlight that area, and then I'm gonna also add some highlighter to that area later. And then I'm also gonna take the same brush that I had earlier that I used for the crease. I'm gonna take those same two colors, Enigma and Ghost Town, and I'm going to kind of focus more on the tip of my brush when I'm dipping in those and go underneath, just to kind of give that a little bit of dimension underneath. And I even kind of drag it down a little bit just to really make sure it's blended. And you can see that I've got a little bit of color underneath there. Okay. And now I'm gonna go in with my Clinique black liner, and I'm going to do my upper line, waterline, I guess. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm just gonna like stick my eyeliner there and like close and drag it. And I only do it to about where my eyeliner stopped. I just kind of feel like this gives it a little bit more definition up there. And sometimes I'll even kind of use this to kind of help define that the lash line, like so. I got a little bit of liner on my bottom waterline. I want to take that off. Okay, and now I'm gonna just use a clean fluffy brush to wipe off all of my baking powder. And you know what, I'm gonna use some falsies today. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Lash Princess so that way that mascara can be dry. And I'm just gonna do it a little bit. I'm not gonna do what I normally do for every day. So you could totally do your normal lashes with this and pair it with more of a nude lip, and I'm gonna go for a more bold lip, so that's why I'm gonna use some lashes just to kind of bolden up that look there too. So then I'm gonna go in with my Park Avenue Princess Tarte, which I always use for my contour shade. I'm super excited because I ordered a MAC contour shade that I've been had my eye on for a while. I've really treated myself to some makeup lately. And it's called Bone Beige, and it's like, we have it at our local MAC store, but it's in like a contour palette, and I didn't want the whole palette, I just wanted that shade, so I had to order it from MAC's website. And so, oh, I take an angled brush like this and kind of work it into those hollows of my cheek. So anyway, so I ordered it, but it's on back order, so it hasn't come in yet, but I'm excited to get that when it comes in. But I mean, I see, like, I learned a lot of my makeup when I was younger, and still to this day, from watching other YouTubers, and a lot of those girls use that contour shade, so I'm like excited. And I try to watch pale girls like me, so I know what to get. But I've also been starting to kind of like try to define this edge right here, not the whole thing, like I don't go all the way underneath, but definitely like right there, my jaw corner there. And then I'm gonna take my nose contour brush that I showed you earlier, and I'm gonna go in with this Park Avenue Princess. And how I do this is I kind of just look and see where I want to straighten it, and then I just kind of go and I drag it down, and then I'll kind of go up and like make it match with my eyebrow. And I'll do the same on the other side. And then I kind of do like a V shape here at the bottom. Just kind of bring that in. And then I'll take my finger and I'll just kind of blend that out. And sometimes if I get the line a little too harsh, I'll just kind of take a little bit of product on my brush and I'll just kind of blow it out a little bit. Okay. Another new product I've been using is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. This is in the shade 02 Sun Kissed. This was $10, and it says it's silky matte, and I think that's pretty true to like what it looks like. Every time I put it on, I'm like, man, it just looks so silky, and I don't know how to describe that, but it really does. I just think it really goes well with, again, this foundation. I just think this foundation just really does it for me, you know. And I've noticed, you know, when I was using that little sample of my foundation I have now, I noticed that I had broke out, but I think it was just a random, because like I haven't been breaking out again since I've been using it. And then I definitely do this all underneath my chin, and I even bring it down to my neck, just to make sure I and kind of behind my ear a little bit, just so I can really make sure I don't have a dark face and a light neck. Okay, then I'm going to go back into my beloved Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette with blushes. This is what it looks like. I use them. And then I'm going to dip into Pink Moon and Stargaze and do that all over the cheek. And then I'm going to dip into Spacey and just kind of help with that contour a little bit. I really like a chiseled out cheek area. But this is just a very light color blush, I feel like. And I'm going to go into that Spacey and kind of help. I'm just going to put it right there, and then I just really try to blow it out and blend it. And I just feel like that kind of helps with the contour a little bit. Like it helps deepen up that pocket that I like to have defined. I like to have those faux Angelina Jolie cheeks. Okay. And then the new highlighter that I am obsessed with is the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. This is super dirty. Highlighters, I got Iced and another gold color, but Iced has definitely been my favorite. It's like a light pink. I feel like the color is not showing well right there. I'm trying not to blind you with my mirror, but this is just it. This is it for me. This is everything to me. So I highly enjoy this. So I'll just kind of take my highlighting brush and then I'll just put it on my cheekbone, and sometimes I kind of V it a little bit. But do you look at that? That is everything to me. That is everything to me. This is worth the money and I will buy it forever. I don't think I could ever go to another highlighter now that I've found this. I'm glowing from within. Then I'll take a little bit and I'll do the Jaclyn trick, which is just kind of doing an exclamation point on your nose. And I'll do it on the bridge of my nose, and then I'll do a little dot on the end. And I've really been enjoying that look here lately. Then I'll kind of do my Cupid's bow area, a little on my chin, and a little on my forehead. I'll just kind of do like, I don't know why, but every time I do this motion, I feel like I'm like drawing little tornadoes on my forehead. Like just circle and up a little bit just to kind of give me a little bit of a glow. Dang, that camera's really picking that up and it's not as intense in person. A little Rudolph, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. And then another thing that I love so much of Jaclyn's are these loose highlighter pigments. This is in the shade Extra. It's just like a white shade. I also have it in Hypnotic, which is like a purple shade. But this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. And I use this for like my inner corner and under my brow highlight. I'll take a brush that looks like this and I'll wet the tip of it first. And then I'll just kind of pick up some of that and put it in the inner corner of my eye. I feel like when I wet my brush, it kind of just helps give it that really wet, glossy highlight look, but not so pretty. I think these are two things that I couldn't live without anymore, is Jaclyn Hill's highlight and these Beam loose powders. And I kind of just bring it up a little bit and a little underneath when I do this. And then I'll take a little bit and I'll do it underneath. I just kind of start right there in that corner, and then I'll drag it out a little bit. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go grab my eyelash glue and also wipe off all of this excess foundation and concealer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Duo. This is a 2-in-1. I like to use the dark side for my glue, and then I'm gonna use the Lunar Beauty lashes in Nova, which look like this. They're very big and dramatic. I don't think I've even used these yet, so I'm gonna see if it fits. I think it'll be okay. I don't know, I may need to cut one. No, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, and I'll know. So sometimes you kind of have to cut your eyelashes to fit your eyes, and sometimes I'll wear them for the first time and see kind of like if they bother me. And if they do, then I'll cut like, you know, like this little strand off or something, or link, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm just taking my glue and I'm putting it on that lash line. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. One thing I learned about when I put my eyelashes on is you let that glue sit for a minute and let it get tacky, and then you'll put it on, because if you put it on right away, it's super liquidy still and it's gonna slide around and it's not gonna stick very well. So sometimes I kind of blow on it. And I do my mascara first because I like to let that dry, and I don't really like to put, like some girls will put their eyelashes on and then they'll put mascara on so that their lashes can kind of blend in with their lashes, but I think that that gets the lashes dirty quicker. So, and you know, after you use them, you know, every so often, and you keep putting more and more mascara on them, they're gonna start to get dirty and clumpy and you're not gonna be able to use them anymore. So I feel like this is what gives me the maximum amount of use, is putting my mascara on first and letting that dry, because I will eventually like go in there and kind of smush it together. So I like to let it dry first. Okay. So now I'm done with that. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on a little mirror where I can see a little bit better. But the first thing I do is I put the middle down first, and then I do the outer and the inner corner. So I'm gonna kind of line it up, and then I stick down that middle, and then I pull the outer and stick it down, and then I push the inner and stick that down. My inner corner isn't really wanting to stick down. Oh my god. I don't like these lashes. These are too much. I'm gonna take these off. Those are too much. I'm gonna go get some less bold lashes real quick. Hang on. Okay, so these are also Lunar Beauty lashes. These are in the style Aries, and I've worn these before and they were good. I think I actually used these in the video I did with like the black out eyeshadow. I think that's what I used them for. Jesus. Okay, I can't find a lash that I like today. I just feel like it looks so fake. Okay, this is gonna be my final lash, I promise. Usually, so I do like those Aries Lunar Beauty lashes, but like I said, I used it when I had like that blackout eyeshadow, so you need to see them. And this is more of like a subtle look, so I'm gonna use actually my Lily lashes in the style Miami. And these are still a little bit bold, but I think these are gonna be perfect. So last time, if it's too dramatic, we're just gonna deal with it and go with it. at this point I'm starting to feel like I should have just done my regular lashes. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, you know what? I lied. We're not gonna use these eyelashes. I guess I'm just not in the mood. So my eyelashes would look a whole lot better if I had done a second coat while they were wet. I just feel like those lashes took away from my eyeliner and you couldn't see the wing very well, and I want you to be able to see it. Okay, so my lashes are gonna look like ish today. That's fine. It's not, but whatever. So now for my lipstick, I'm gonna use MAC lip liner in Cherry, and then I'm also gonna use Pat McGrath Guinevere, which is like a red. So I'm gonna first go in and line. And then I kind of fill in lightly with that liner because it helps your lipstick have something to stick onto to stay all day better. Okay, and this is more of a bright red, and then this lipstick is more of like a deep red, so it's gonna kind of help cover that brightness up. It never fails me when I'm using red lipstick. I always mess up the line a little bit, and when I do, I'll take a brush that kind of looks like this, because I feel like right here in the corner I messed up, and then I'll take a little bit of my sharp shape tape. It's not sharp. Shape tape, and I'll just kind of Alright, and that's it for today's video. I feel so good filming this and kind of trying to get back into this. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. I can't promise that I'll upload weekly like I used to. I just have too much going on in my life now. But I will try to do at least once a month, or if not more. Just kind of depends on what's going on. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching and sticking with me through all of this, and I appreciate every one of you. Hope every one of you stays safe and is kind to everyone, kind to each other. So thanks for watching. Bye.